Welcome to the Below Football Kaizer family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to be the first to get the latest news. Chiefs back-to-back confeed fixtures against Egyptians confirmed. Kaizer Chiefs will return to action following the FIFA international break with two challenging Total Energies CAF Confederation Cup fixtures against Egyptian powerhouses Al Masry and Zamalek SC. The first encounter is an away match against Al Masry, kicking off at 18:0 on Sunday, November 23 at the Suez Stadium in Suez, located approximately 150 kilometers from the capital, Cairo. 6 days later, Amakhosi will host Zamalek SC on home soil in South Africa. This highly anticipated titanic clash between two of Africa's football giants will take place on Saturday, November 29, kicking off at 1500 hours at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. Owing to the traveling distance between South Africa and Egypt spanning the full vertical length of the African continent, Amakhosi's proposed midweek Betway premiership fixture against Mamelodi, scheduled for Wednesday, November 26, has been postponed. The new date will be confirmed by the league in due course. Amakhosi have been placed in Group D of the year's CAF Confederation Cup alongside the two Egyptian clubs Al Masry and Zamalek, as well as Zesco United from Zambia. Chiefs will be aiming to secure maximum points from their opening two encounters, with the top two teams in the group set to advance to the knockout stages of this season's continental showpiece. Tickets for the Polokwane match between the Glamour Boys and Zamalek SC are available for R80 and can be purchased online via www.computicket.co.za or in store at ShopRite, Usave, and Checkers outlets. Supporters from across the land are encouraged to get their tickets early so they can fill up the new Peter Mokaba Stadium and avoid the Black Friday rush at the shops. Kaizer Chiefs needed a rest in the international break, coach Cedric Kaizer. Kaizer Chiefs are in desperate need of a break and have been using the first few days of the FIFA international window to rest and recuperate, co-coach Cedric Kaizer says, before beginning preparations for another trip north of the border. The game will come a fortnight after their last outing, where they lost to Stellenbosch on post-match penalties after extra time in the first round of the Carling knockout. I believe that it's a break that is welcome because over the past few weeks, we played 6 games in 18 days, including traveling to Angola, coming back and every game has its own pressure, Kaizer said. We never had time to work on everything that we wanted to work on. But now we're going to have time to settle ourselves and to work on things and get better combinations and see what's working, looking forward to our next game in the Confederation Cup. The players need to reset because there have been a lot of games recently and physically it was starting to be tough. Kaizer has been sharing coaching duties with Khaled Ben Youssef since the departure of coach Nasreddine Nabi, whose lawyers are still sorting out his settlement with the club after his firing. Kaizer said it was up to the club to decide whether the rest of the 5-man staff that Nabi had brought with him would remain at Chiefs or also depart. Chiefs had a bright start to the season when Nabi was away tending to his wife who had injured herself in a fall. In his absence they won 3 games in a row. But when Nabi returned, Chiefs won 1 out of 3, and since his departure, they have had a single victory in 4 games, suggesting the coaching staff are skating on thin ice. The Confederation Cup tie is against unknown opposition. Simba, not to be confused with the much better-known Tanzanian outfit, is competing in continental competition for the first time. Chiefs face 5 games in the space of 17 days. 6 players who could leave Chiefs, Bucks and Downs. In less than 2 months, the January transfer window is going to open and there are a few players who could be leaving Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns. Agent Mike Macob recently confirmed to Soccer Laduma that the door is not closed for Boydamelo Radio Payne to make a move in the January transfer window, depending on his situation at the club at the time. Potosi set for return as new club beckons. Radio Payne, according to Macob, had sustained an injury and is making his way back, but has to fight for his place in the team. Competition, however, will be tough, with Evidence Makopa and Yanila Mbuthuma showing some good form for the Buccaneers. There could be an opportunity for the 23-year-old to get game time elsewhere and build his confidence, having struggled to find the back of the net for the Buccaneers, just as he did during his days in the DStv Idiski Challenge. Radio Payne is not the only player from one of the big three clubs who could be making a move in the January transfer. Both Chiefs and Sundowns have players who were linked with exits in the last transfer window, and it's believed that the door for a departure is still open. Read, Miguel, that's where I struggled. Scroll through the gallery to see which players from Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, and Mamelodi Sundowns could leave during the January transfer window. Exactly, and those are consistent teams. So what does that tell you? All Chiefs have to do is be more consistent within the league and their players will get an opportunity to play in the Bafana team. That's all it is telling you. I mean, when you look at it like that, then you've answered the question you asked yourself, Johnson said. If you ask yourself, who is dominating the South African national team, the former Al Ahly coach asked. Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, the CAF crew answered. Thank you. Are they consistent? Johnson continue. He was threatening ITU's record. He really deserved the nod, but the question would be, there are players that have scored crucial goals for their teams, but still they are not selected, Yegafatso, Mabasa and, Bradley, Grobler, he added. The person to probably address this situation is the coach himself. Mthethwa's absence questioned. Khumalo's comment comes after another Amakhosi legend, Joseph Banks Setlhodi, questioned why defensive midfielder Sibongiseni Mthethwa was also snubbed. Mthethwa is a very good, hard-working player. He makes Kaizer Chiefs tick, Setlhodi told Kickoff. I cannot say he is underrated because football, we don't view it the same way. Why is he not with Bafana? That's a big question. The national team coach might not see what we see in the player. But personally, I believe he qualifies to be in the national team, he added. Mthethwa has brought so many things to the Kaizer Chiefs game. On the pitch, he is almost everywhere, covering his teammates, especially where danger is. He is always the first one to spot it. Most read. One Buck Star reacts to painful Bafana exclusion. 2 Agent confirms interest from several European clubs in Chiefs duo. 3 Agent lifts the lid on how Pirates hijacked Apollos, beating Chiefs, Sundowns and Esperance. 4 Chiefs legend receives R4.3 million after clinching league title with Biliet and Zvukomanja. 5 ex-Turkish FF official expresses confidence in Chiefs for CAFCC success but also warns Amakhosi. 6 Chiefs legend sides with Bruce, you can't sacrifice consistency for Lorch. 7 Foot Thidiela truth is bitter, Kosa complaint is just barking. Relax, drink water and go hug a tree. 8X Downs attacker nominated for prestigious award alongside Arsenal star Rice and Barca's Yamal. Chiefs stars snubbed again. Although a number of players from Chiefs have been doing better this season, Bruce overlooked them once more. Peterson has managed to keep 7 clean sheets from 11 Premier Soccer League games, but Mayo's tough Chiefs challenge. As he works his way back to fitness, Kaizer Chiefs striker Kaniasa Mayo faces a tough challenge with competition intensifying at Naturina. Mayo picked up an injury recently and, in his absence, some of his teammates have been raising their hands. Itiosa Ighodaro is fit and determined to keep his place in the team, while Flavio Silva is making his mark whenever he is given minutes to play by the technical team. Read, 6 players who could leave Chiefs, Bucks and Downs. On the right wing, where Mayo can also play, young Fundo Vilakazi has been doing well and keeps growing in confidence. This means Mayo has to work extra hard on his return to give himself a shot at getting back into the starting lineup. The challenge for Mayo is that he is on loan to Amakhosi, and this is an important period for him to prove himself and possibly earn a permanent deal at Naturina. Soccer Laduma understands that the player would be open to staying at Amakhosi beyond the end of this season. Potosi set for return as new club beckons. The 27-year-old, who is on loan to Amakhosi from Algerian club CR Belouizdad, has made 4 appearances since joining Chiefs and has 1 goal. Once he makes a return to the team, he will need to make the most of the chances he gets to ensure he is playing regularly and getting on the score sheet too. Back to square one at Kaizer Chiefs? Sporting director Kaizer Motoung Jr. gives no assurance for Cedric Kaze and Khalil Ben Youssef's futures at Amakhosi despite the tremendous job. The two tacticians have been at the helm of the Glamour Boys in most matches this season domestically and abroad as the Soweto Giants work their way back to the top. Despite their arguably impressive performance, the club's executive management has not confirmed whether the duo will stay beyond the current campaign. The Genesis. Kaizer Chiefs were desperately in need of a proven technical team at the beginning of the 2024-25 season, following their worst finish in the Premier Soccer League era, 10th. They contracted Nasreddine Nabi, who had to amicably part ways with AS FAR Rabat after just one season in charge, for a new challenge in the Premier Soccer League with Amakhosi. Nabi came with his team, which included Cedric Kaze and Khalil Ben Youssef as his assistants at the club. The debut season